Ginger tea is so good. Peace and blessings, beautiful beings. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are doing well on this beautiful Sunday. Actually, instead of hoping that you guys are doing really well, I'm choosing to change my vocabulary. Instead of saying hope, we're gonna say we trust, okay? So I trust that you guys are doing great. I trust that you guys are doing well on this beautiful Sunday. Before I start this sit down chat about the Loc journey, I really just want to give a huge shout out to most likely one of my favorite Haitian local fine artists in Brooklyn, based in Brooklyn, wearing one of his paintings on a shirt, and two of his paintings are located right behind me, which are spectacular. Mr. Watson Mir, I will leave his information down below in the description box so you guys can check out his art. He has prints for sale, and more than likely he's always at an exhibition within the range of New York State. So make sure you guys support the local artist of New York. Back to regular scheduled programming. I wanted to take a moment to really take the time to sit down and talk about Locs, the Loc journey, but subjectively speaking, I'm always going to be speaking from my own point of view, my own perspective. How these Locs have really deepened my spiritual journey in various ways. If you guys haven't checked out my visual 2-year Loc journey, I will also leave that video in the link description box below. 3 characteristics, for lack of a better word, that I have really delved into the Loc journey 3 years now is self-love, acceptance, and patience. So I'm going to start off with those 3, self-love and acceptance really being 2 in 1. Ever since I started my Loc journey, it has been such a beautiful one, to be very honest. I started my Loc journey and I had a huge supportive relationship in that time period, and it was such an eye-opening experience to be very much choosing to do this journey, because most people want the destination of just length, right? And obviously I didn't start off with length. If you guys check out the Loc visual journey, I didn't start off with length, and that was very much a humbling experience. Very much a humbling experience. A lot of looking myself in the mirror and really asking myself, do I see love or do I see fear? Because I truly believe that the 2 emotions that we as human beings experience, spiritual beings experience, is love and fear. Those are the only 2 emotions that we operate out of. And if you're not operating out of love, you're most likely operating out of fear. And that's really how I look at everything in life, based on emotional value. And so during the first 12 months, of locking my hair, it was a lot of speaking kindly to myself, speaking very kindly to myself, looking at that woman, but really that 12-year-old, that 8-year-old version girl of me who didn't really tell herself she loved herself and try to conform to society's norms. I was in 5th grade when I think I begged my mom to get a perm, and eventually I did, and my hair texture changed the rest of my life since then. And I hid behind extensions, especially during college years. High school, not so much, But college years, I definitely hid myself behind extensions, whether they're wigs, weaves, and this lock journey really became something of acceptance. I want to touch on patience. Being patient with yourself is probably one of the most kindest treats that one can give oneself, especially with growing out your hair and just really just letting nature take its own course. After the year journey, I started opening my eyes with other people who have locks and just started comparing self and saying, wow, I can't wait to get to that length. Wow, I can't wait for my hair to do that. But it's like, I'm right here and I won't be right here in this moment ever again. This is the youngest that I'll ever be right here in this moment, right? And so that really, this journey has really taught me a lot with being patient with myself, but also anything that I give to myself, I find that I am overflowing by giving it to others. So because I was starting to be more and more patient with myself, I became more patient with others. And I love that that's just how natural nature works. Tea time. This ginger tea is amazing. As some of you may or may not know, our locks, or specifically hair, but locks specifically for me are antennas. They are receivers of information, whether that's information from what you're giving yourself or just where you are, your environment. They pick up energy, whatever, they are. And for me, a lot of my lock journey has been wrapping my hair up. This time in my life, I've never wrapped my hair so much, and I know that is me just following the inner guidance of my higher self, my spirit. And most of the time when I go out to a different environment that I'm not really quite used to, I will wrap my hair. My hair will most likely 97% of the time be wrapped up. Recently, a friend of mine asked me, why is your hair always wrapped? Why don't you show off your locks? And for me, it's not about me not showing off my locks. It's just about me being very precautious of the environment I'm in and the energy that I'm constantly receiving. I am based in New York, so there's a lot always happening in this state, in the city. And so I always want to protect my crown chakra. The crown chakra is where we receive most of our downloads. Downloads being messages from your higher self, your spirit, the Most High, ancestors, guides. And so I want to make sure that I keep pure within that chakra and being aligned in all of my chakras. I don't see myself cutting my locks just out of nowhere. I have been surrounded with people who used to have locks and they told me it just felt too much, or I want to cut my hair, or it was just weighing down on me. And a lot of that has to do with the experiences that we've had, whether they were traumatic to us, and, cutting our locks is a symbolism of letting go of those past experiences. And so for me, I know that life is an ebb and flow, it's an ebb and flow, and there will be challenges my way. And I would not want to put myself in a position to cut my locks just because I didn't do the best I could to protect them in the first place. Another reason why and how locks have really deepened my spiritual journey is I am now on the journey and the path of holistic healing. Whether that's small like Tylenol or Advil, I never really liked to take medication, but I realized what I did enjoy is grabbing things from Mother Earth, what is most natural, because our body can heal itself, and with the natural elements that are already around us, we have everything that we need. Everything that we need is already provided for us. And so I'm on the path of holistic healing, not just in the sense of what I'm eating, right? But in the sense of how I'm thinking, my awareness that what I think, what I say, and what I do all aligns. And so actually, let me grab the book. That brings me to this current book that I'm reading for this month. Wow, I'm like really in color coordination right now. I am currently reading Tapping the Power Within, which is by the author Ayan Van Zandt, which has really confirmed. This is just a confirmation of everything that I've already been saying to myself, been doing, and been speaking out loud. It is a confirmation that what I feel that I am on in this spiritual journey of mine is exactly where I should be. And so I am not here on this channel to convince anyone to lock their hair. You know, if you don't want to lock your hair, don't do it. If you do, and when your spirit so calls you to do so, follow that inner guidance of your spirit, because it is your spirit telling you or guiding you, right? And so it was a bit all over the place, but to run it back, my locks have helped me with self-love, with acceptance, with patience, and with expanding on my holistic healing journey. And I know that I am only 3 years in. And I know that the longer that these locks get, the longer that the journey continues to go, the more wisdom that I know I will receive, because I continue to sit still and listen to spirit. That's actually one of my favorite Bible verses. Be still and know that I am God. The more still, the more quiet that I feel, the louder that I can hear spirit, and the less quiet that ego actually becomes. And that's one last thing that I'll speak about. Just like I believe that there are two emotions that we operate out of, love and fear, I believe that there's two versions of us that we operate out of: our spirit, right? And the ego self. If you're not moving in spirit, you're most likely moving in ego. I'm not perfect, but one thing that I will say about myself is that I am now more aware when I'm moving in ego, and I catch myself even more quickly. And for that, I truly give thanks. I really do. I truly give thanks for always being aware where I am in ego. And if I offend anyone, pardoning myself from that behavior. So I am grateful that you guys took the time to listen to how my locks have truly helped me in my spiritual path, my spiritual journey, living in this human experience. And if you guys can relate, leave it so in the comments below. If not, I'll see you guys next time. Peace and blessings.